Hey guys, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It is Miss V with your pick a card readings. I hope everyone is doing fantastic this afternoon. I decided to come by and do a pick a card reading. The question for today is, what do you need to surrender to? I did a reading somewhat similar to this a few months back. A little different style, but this one is really going to be centered on what it is that you need to surrender to. Okay, I felt drawn to do this today. I don't know why, but I feel drawn to do that. And so I feel like, with that being said, there is someone out here that needs to hear these messages. Okay, first and foremost, before I get started, I want to thank each and every one of you for subscribing to my channel, clicking the like button, commenting, sharing. Thank you so much for the continued support. It is greatly appreciated. If you're ever interested in a more personal reading with me, you can always go to www.spiritualvibrations.org. Okay, please feel free to also join my Facebook group. That link will be below as well. All right, so again, these are general messages, so they may and may not apply to everyone. Take the messages that does and leave what doesn't. Okay, if you feel that there is nothing that you need to surrender to, then feel free to check out the additional videos that I have posted. But I feel that with everyone, there is always something that we need to kind of surrender to. Okay, so with that being said, I ask that you really take your time, take a nice deep breath, and allow your intuition to guide you. Okay, pertaining to the card that you're drawn to. We have card one, cards two, and cards three. Take your time and ask yourself, what is it that I need to surrender to? Which one of these are the messages that I need to hear today? Again, we have cards one, cards two, and cards three. The timestamps will be down below, so if you do not want to listen to the entire intro, you can go directly to the card you selected. Okay, so with that being said, we are going to get started. I'm going to move these cards over to the side here. All right, so for those that select card one, what is it that you need to surrender to? Okay, we have surrender your desire to control people. You have surrender to receiving support and love. You have surrender the habit of people pleasing. You have surrender comparison with other people. You have surrender, okay? You have freedom. And then you have courage. All right. All right, so for those that selected one, starting off with the first card here, we have surrender your desire to control people, okay? So for some that selected one, you may actually be aware of this energy within yourself, okay? The way that you may be trying to control someone or wanting them to be a certain way, wanting them to act a certain way or do things the way that you see fit. And some people may not really realize that they are very controlling or try to be very controlling, okay? But Spirit is saying that is the energy to let go of, okay? Because being over controlling can sabotage relationships of all kinds, not just say partnership, family, co-worker, friendship. It can sabotage bonds that is shared with one another when you try to control or dictate a person. And sometimes we do that because we have a certain belief or we feel things should be done a certain way. And I do feel like for some, it definitely applies if you are trying to help someone where you see that this person has more to offer than what they're actually seeing for themselves. So you may be trying to kind of direct them down the right path and trying to make them do this, and it don't quite seem to work out. Okay, so again, and it could be for many different other scenarios, but that's just one in particular I felt the need to kind of bring up. So surrender your desire to control people. It only sabotages relationships. Okay, um yeah. The next message that came through is surrender to receiving support and love. So for some that selected one, you have a hard time opening your heart up, allowing yourself to be open to your partner. Okay. Either friends, okay, you may deal with some type of trust issues. You may be a very independent person, a little bit too independent, where you don't like receiving the support, or I can do everything by myself. So this can apply for romantic relationships and just relationships in general, okay? Not actually allowing yourself to receive. And some people do have a difficult time doing that in many different areas in their life. Again, when it comes to areas of love where, they have affection for a particular person, but they don't allow that person to get too close. And a lot of that has to do with fear. Um, or again, that sense of being very independent and not allowing that support from another. And Spirit is saying it's time to let go of that energy, okay? If you need help with something, help is available to you. You don't have to do everything alone. You don't have to go through everything alone, okay? And if you have been hurt in the past that is preventing you from moving forward, Spirit is wanting you to kind of work on it, because now is the time for you to really open up your heart and receive, because love could be in the air for those that selected one, and you could be missing some opportunities because you're in a place of not wanting to quite open up, okay? It is that allow the love and the support of others in, rather than, again, trying to handle everything yourself. This will also take the pressure off of you as well. Nurture yourself. And the way that you can nurture yourself is to receive nurture. Okay, but you have to be open to receiving. The next message that came through is surrender the habit of people pleasing. Okay, so for some that selected one, have a habit of wanting to make the next person happy, whether it's in a relationship or family member. Family members call and, hey, can I borrow X, Y, and Z? Or, and it's like, yeah, sure, not a problem. Just that constant yes, yes, yes. And people that are dealing with this issue have a hard time saying no. Okay, they have a hard time setting boundaries. And so that's what Spirit is trying to that's the message that Spirit is trying to reach today. It's to set boundaries with yourself and set boundaries with others, okay? Let go of the need to people please, okay? Again, when it comes to relationships, someone could be doing their all, giving their all, maybe giving a little bit too much of their all, okay? Because they're trying to please, they're trying to impress this person that they love, and their energy does not work, okay? Spirit is wanting those to kind of focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make others happy. And I feel like a lot of people that selected group one, and for those that resonate to this particular card, push themselves on the back burner. You could be just a giver by nature. So for givers by nature, it's kind of hard sometimes to kind of realize that, we are giving a little bit too much of ourselves and putting ourselves on the back burner, because it's like a habit. It's just natural. It just comes naturally. But Spirit is saying now it's time to really pay attention to this, because this is affecting you. You're making others happy, but at the same time, you could be draining yourself. You could be losing yourself. Okay? So surrender to the habit of people pleasing. All right? The next message for those that selected one, you have surrender comparison with other people. Okay, so everyone is guilty of this. There is not a person here on earth that has never been in a situation where they compare themselves to others, but there are some that actually do it a little bit too much. Okay, again, it's a natural habit to do so. Now, is it the right thing to do? No, but does it happen? Yes, it does. But again, there are people that actually do this on a regular basis. Okay, and this energy creates jealousy, enviness. Okay, and Spirit is saying there is no need for you to compare yourself to the other person, whether it's comparing yourself to how a person looks. Okay, we are all unique in our own special way. Spirit is wanting you to love yourself for who you are. Okay, sometimes people look at other people and be like, oh wow, this person has this, and I've been working so hard for this and I haven't got this. And a lot of people fail to realize is that you're on the outside looking in. You never know what a person had to go through to get what it is that they have. You don't know their struggles. You don't know the challenges that they face. So for you, it looks as if, oh, everything is peaches and cream. It just comes like that for this person. That's not technically the case. But the overall message about this is not to compare yourself with anyone. Spirit is wanting you to focus more on yourself. Focus more on your growth, your own strengths, your own attractiveness, your own power. We each have it. We're just diverse in how we allow the universe to see it. Okay, so let go of this energy, because again, at the end of the day, it doesn't serve you. It keeps you in a place of, again, enviness, jealousy, bitterness. And who wants to carry that energy? That's negative energy. And it begins to seep out to those who are around. Okay, the next message, again, surrender. Spirit is like, for those that selected one, it's time to let this energy go. It's time to release Number one, the need to control. So again, I feel like for those that selected one could be very demanding, very dictative, okay, wanting to control, whether they are consciously or subconsciously doing it, okay? It's time to surrender. It's time to let that go. The energy does not serve you. Again, energy is nothing but law of attraction. What you put out is what you receive, okay? And so you won't want nobody trying to control you and dictate you and tell you what you should be doing. You know, it's nothing wrong with offering advice or opinions, but it's a difference when you're trying to make somebody do something, okay? And again, just in general, surrender to these energies. You know, surrender to this fear of not allowing others to step into your space. Surrender your fears with not allowing that support when you need it, okay? Surrender those fears of really taking time out for yourself and not actually people pleasing, okay? Because Spirit is saying that you deserve freedom, okay? I feel like for these energies, maybe this has been holding a lot of people back in some way, keeping them in a place of really not being able to move forward, a lot of confusion in areas in their life, okay? And so Spirit is saying when you surrender this type of energy here, because this energy is oppressive energy, okay? Physically, mentally, and emotionally. And so Spirit is saying you will feel so free, okay? You have to understand, it says, I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness, okay? So again, you don't have to kind of compare yourself to somebody else. The grass ain't always green on the other side. And even if it is, your grass could be green too. Okay? All right. All you got to do is water it. All you got to do is nurture it. Okay? You create your own happiness. All right? So set yourself free. And then again, we have courage. So what you need to surrender to fears. Okay? I feel like some are dealing with some fears. Okay? Fears of the unknown, fears of change. Okay? Fears of just moving forth in areas in their life, okay? And Spirit is saying it's time for you to stand up and face your fears. Have the courage to surrender to this and have the freedom that you deserve, okay? So guys, that is for those that selected one. I hope you click the like button and comment below. Blessings to you. For those that selected two, what are the messages that you need to surrender to? Surrender to wonder and awe. Surrender to silence. Surrender to drama. Surrender to prayer. Surrender your fear of intimacy. We have grief. And we have love. All right. So for those that selected two, what is it that you need to surrender to? All right. The first card that came up here is surrender to wonder and awe. Okay. I feel like for those that selected two are in a place of possibly not believing, not feeling as miracles come true. Okay. I feel like for those that selected two are the type of people like you have to see it to believe it. Okay. And Spirit is saying it's time to kind of let go of that energy. Know that miracles happens every day. You know, things could be very difficult right now. You don't see your way out of it. But in the next 5 minutes, a breakthrough will come through. Okay. So surrender to the surprise. Surrender to the sense of knowing that nothing is just set in stone. Okay. Spirit is wanting you to kind of open up to the magic in the moment. Okay. And this attitude will actually keep you going more with the universal flow. Okay. Because when you get in a place of not feeling that things are possible, or only till you see it and to believe it, it makes it challenges. It's part of that faith. That faith is not being trusted at this time. And so Spirit is saying for some that's selected to surrender to the wonder and awe. Know that things can happen. Okay. What seems impossible is possible. Okay. Believe in magic. All right. We also have surrender to silence. All right. So for some, got a lot going on around you in your thoughts, your energies. Spirit is saying you need to take time out to yourself. You need to go within. You need a moment of solitude. You need a moment of introspection, okay? This is a good time for some to do some meditation, for those that selected too, okay? It's time to kind of go in stillness. And sometimes when we in stillness, we get a chance to, again, have that sense of clarity, that sense of self-evaluation on certain things. Being able to see things from a different perspective and a higher perspective. We're able to balance our emotions, okay? Because again, we got some water energy here. So Spirit is saying by silence and stillness, okay, with what's going on around you, with your thought process, it can heal you and it will also help replenish you. So I definitely feel like meditation will be strongly encouraged at this time for those that selected to, and just really taking time out to meditate taking time out for self, just a few minutes a day, okay, if you possibly can, just taking time out for self, all right? Now, the next message for those that selected 2, Spirit is saying surrender the drama, okay? So, for some that selected 2, it's some drama going on around you, okay? Somebody bringing you drama, or it's drama where it's your job, it's drama in your family, your friends got drama, you got drama going on in your home, and Spirit is like, it's time to surrender to this energy, okay? It says no matter how emotionally charged the situation is, they want you to remain calm. So, and don't contribute to the drama. So pretty much this is not a situation for those who are experiencing drama to fight fire with fire at this time. Know what to give your energy to and what not to. Okay, sometimes you have to go there. You have to really go toe to toe with folks. And sometimes you got to just realize, this is not even worth my time. I'm about to walk away. Deuces. Okay, and ain't nothing wrong with that because you guarding yourself. You keep the drama for your mama. All right, so Spirit is saying don't fight fire with fire, okay? Stay centered, okay? And especially because drama, when you're all heated, you got that wolf energy coming out. You ready to take charge, you ready to tackle, you ready to destroy. And at the end of the day, what is it going to prove? Okay? Again, it's important to kind of stay centered if you're dealing with any drama. Walk away from things that don't serve you, but stand up if you need to. But again, don't allow things to get to the point where you're stepping out your element. You're stepping out who you truly are, okay? And when you stay centered and kind of try to resolve certain things in a sensible manner, okay, the issues resolve very quickly, okay? They just kind of evaporate, all right? But the more you feed the drama, the more the drama will continue. You heard? Okay? I got time for that. All right, moving on for those that selected 2, we have surrender to prayer. So for some, you're going through some difficult times. I'm hearing something about, for some that selected this, as having issues with children, or either having children, or loss of a child. I definitely feel some child energy here, but I definitely feel like for some, again, you're dealing with some challenges, having some obstacles, may not even be able to see your way forward, needing to make some decision, and you're trying to do it all by yourself. You're trying to figure out everything all by yourself, and Spirit is saying, prayer works. Surrender to prayer. Give yourself completely to prayer and have faith when you do. Okay? It says when you pray from your heart, you will be heard throughout the universe, and the answers and the support will arrive to you. So again, you're trying to do everything on your own. You're trying to figure everything out on your own. All you need to do is ask for assistance, and it will be provided to you. So surrender to prayer, okay? And it's also good, again, that's probably for a lot. I feel like both of these cards resonate. I know, excuse me, I got these cards all over the place, but whatever. Really needed to take time out to self, be the self, to try to balance some emotions and communicate with your creator. Okay? For some, we have surrender your fear of intimacy. All right. So for some that selected 2, your heart has been broken. Past relationships, challenges, abusive, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And you're at a place where unfortunately that pain has not quite healed. And you're holding on to that, and you're afraid to move forth in areas of a relationship. You are afraid to move forth, to open up yourself. Okay? And Spirit is saying it's time to surrender to that fear. Now for some, again, if you feel that you're not ready, take your time. Okay? There is no rush. But for some, you've been ready. It's been years and you're still holding on. And it's time for you to surrender. It's time for you to let go. You are ready to let love in. Compassionately identify and begin to release. Okay? Any patterns that stops you from opening up your heart. I also feel like for some, this could be a situation where some may have experienced some type of abuse as a child. In some way, and these emotions have started to kind of arise as an adult, and they have a hard time connecting, with their spouse or with the other gender. Okay, and so Spirit is saying it's time to kind of surrender. It's time for you to allow that love in your heart, in your life. You deserve this. Okay. We also have grief. So I definitely feel like when it comes to this grief, again, there could be some people that's dealing with this sense of sadness pertaining to some past relationships, things that didn't quite go well Some past issues as a child could also be occurring, okay? And again, challenges, whatever challenges, obstacles that someone may be going through, having a hard time dealing with a certain situation. But again, for those that selected 2, Spirit is saying that you are holding on to a lot of grief, whether it's grief from the present or grief from the past in some way. And this card is saying, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Now, this could also be for some where they missed or feel like they missed out on something. They missed the opportunity. Relationship ended, jobs ended, friendships ended, okay? Anything that normally needs to end is normally for a reason in some way, okay? And again, it says, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Now, I also feel like for some that may be in this stage, you actually have to go through this stage because you didn't quite appreciate what you had, okay? And it's like kind of taking appreciation and gratitude for everything that you do have. All right. So I'm picking up a few different messages for this card, but definitely when it comes to grief, I definitely feel like some are going through a difficult period at this particular time. Maybe they lost someone. This can also be like if you actually lost a loved one that may have passed away. Someone is experiencing this grief right now, or maybe it's someone's birthday that passed away. Again, Mother's Day is getting ready to come up. So for some who have lost their mothers are dealing with that sense of grief right now. Okay. And then again, we have love when it comes to surrender. Okay. So again, for a lot of people that selected too, it's some issues pertaining to love. Okay. Having a hard time with relationships, partnerships this time. Okay. I don't feel like this is pertaining, and it could be used, but because of this particular energy I'm picking up here, I feel like this is partnerships. Okay. Having issues with love. Okay. I feel like for some may have issues with a father figure, whether there was not a father figure in their life or the father figure was in and out their life and they're kind of looking for love. It's not like they're looking for a father figure, but they're looking for love, and the love that they're searching for is unfortunately maybe leading them in some unhealthy relationships, okay, or some difficult relationships where they're at a point in some area in their life where there is some fear, okay? So it is acknowledging to kind of take time out of stillness and go within yourself and do some self-reflection and see how can you cut any negative ties and allow yourself to kind of open up and receive love. Okay, so those are the message for those that selected too. I hope it resonated. Click the like button. Love and light. And last but not least, those who selected 3, what is it that you need to surrender to? We have surrender to rest and sleep. Okay, we have surrender to what is. You have surrender to non-action. You have surrender unhealthy relationships. Surrender to setting limits. You have courage. You have dreams. And you have temptation. All right, so for those that selected 3, what is it that you need to surrender to? You need to stay off that phone. You need to stop talking to Pookie and Michelle and them past 1 o'clock. Okay? You need to stop overthinking, stop overanalyzing. You need some rest. Okay? For some that selected 3, you guys have not been resting. Okay? Tossing and turning, insomnia, a lot on your mind. Difficulties, trying to meet certain deadlines, get things wrapped up, anxiety. Okay, so Spirit is saying that it's been a lot of restless nights for some that selected 3, and you really need to rest and to sleep. Okay, because if you don't get the adequate amount of rest that you need, you will burn out. Okay, you will begin to slow down. Your energy should get all crabby patty. You get to snapping on folks, all irritated, like, ooh, what's wrong with you? Get some sleep. Okay, so you don't want to burn yourself out. It's time for you to take some rest. It's time for you to really honor yourself and get some quiet time, some peaceful time. If you need to call off, don't tell the boss I said that. If you need to call off and send the kids to school, get you some rest. Like really take time out, because at the end of the day, you need to rejuvenate your mind, your body, and your soul. It is important, okay? If you don't have an adequate amount of sleep, you can't think right, you can't function, you can't do your job right. So get you some rest, okay? For those, again, that selected 3, we have surrender to what is. Okay, so for some that selected 3 is at a place that they having a hard time accepting change. They're having a hard time accepting the things that is occurring in areas in their life. Okay, they want control. They want to have control of the outcome and how things play out for them. And Spirit is saying, just surrender. Okay, which is what we're doing, but accept things for what it is. Okay, sometimes we can constantly fight against the ebbs and flow of life, and the more we fight, the more we be in the battle. Okay, sometimes you need to kind of just take a step back and just accept things for what it is and allow the universe to work in your favor and do the magic for you instead of you trying to make the magic. Okay, it says when you can't change the situation, compassionately accept it exactly as it is because it will bring you peace. Because when you're in a place of not being accepting of the things that is occurring in your life, the ups and downs, the changes, it leaves you in a place of feeling stressed, feeling overwhelmed, overeating, undereating, not sleeping. Okay, it just takes you out that place of peace and harmony. And so Spirit is saying the more that you can accept things for what they are and let go of the need to control and allow the universe to kind of run in your favor, it's going to bring you the peace that you need. And at the end of the day, it's going to work out the way that you need to anyway. And if it don't, it's because it's a lesson in that. All right, that will still pan out to be a blessing even though you can't see it. All right. Now we also have, for those that selected 3, surrender to non-action. All right. For some, you always on the go, constantly going, either with your thoughts, overworking yourself, got 1 or 2 jobs, taking care of the kids, picking up mama and them, grandma, going to church, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just like you're always busy, okay? Whether it's your thoughts, your physical aspect, you're always busy, and Spirit is saying, be still. Maybe you're trying to push yourself too quickly into a direction that you want to go on or go in. Okay. Spirit is saying just take time to be still. Try not to act right now. Take a moment to really just breathe, do a woosah, and focus on aspects of your power at this time. I feel like for some, you're just doing so much at this particular time. And again, you need to rest. You're doing so much. You just going, kind of like the Energizer Bunny. Okay. And I also feel, I'm feeling the need to say, like, relationship wise, for some that selected 3, you're constantly pushing a relationship, constantly calling up and trying to express yourself or trying to apologize or explain your actions, or that's what I'm being shown here. It's kind of like non-action, be still. Okay, let others come to you at this time. Okay, and again, for some, if you're constantly on the go doing things for others, it's okay to say no. Learn how to set boundaries with yourself as well as others, and know that no is a complete sentence. It ain't nothing else needed after the word no. Okay, and don't feel bad about it. All right, surrender to that energy. The next message that came up: surrender to some unhealthy relationships. So for some that selected 3, you're going through some unhealthy partnerships, definitely. Okay, there are some things that's going on that is not serving you in some way. There could be a sense of discontentment. There could be some deception that's going on. There could be some abuse in some way, whether it's physically, mentally, or emotionally. Okay. It could be that affection of love in the relationship is not being shown. Okay. It's just acknowledging that some area in a relationship is very unhealthy right now. Now, yes, it could be partnerships, but it could be many other different types of relationships. Okay. And Spirit is saying that some may already know that certain relationships they have are unhealthy. Okay. But they keep going and going and going and going and going. Okay. Y'all get the gist. They keep going and going and going and not actually surrendering. Well, hopefully they'll change. Maybe if I stick around. Well, maybe if I do this. Maybe if I try this. It's like surrender and let go. Instead, let go of the relationships that don't serve you anymore. Unavailable and toxic people. Okay, especially those relationships where you got pop in and out. One moment he here, you ain't heard from him in 2 months. Then you got a new boo or whatever, and he come back like, hey, what's up, or vice versa. It's like, no, now you dropping your new boo because he done came back in the picture. It's like, no, okay. Let those relationships go. Remember that you are a treasured soul, a vessel, and you deserve to be treated and loved and be around positive people. So let go of these toxic relationships, okay? It ain't serving you. It is 2019. Anybody got time for that? Okay. Next message that came up is surrender to setting limits. For some that selected 3, you guys are kind of putting limits on yourself, setting boundaries with yourself, and not allowing yourself to move forward in many areas in your life. Okay. I feel like for some, you're not really setting boundaries in a relationship, and it's become unhealthy. You don't quite speak up. You don't quite say things that bothers you. You just let things continue. And then when you finally do, you blowing up. And then this person looking like, okay, where did all this come from? And now you want to try to change the game, but you've been allowing this situation to occur for a long time. And it doesn't mean that, you don't It doesn't mean that, you don't stop setting boundaries, but it's just acknowledging when you set those boundaries in the beginning and put your stance down, people know what they can and cannot do. Okay. But getting back to this particular card, it's time to kind of surrender to some setting limits, especially boundaries with others, boundaries with yourself. And I feel like for some, you could be setting too many limits on yourself. Okay. I'm hearing like, I can't. I don't know if I could. I wouldn't be. You are kind of creating that energy for yourself. It says it is healthy to set boundaries in a relationship. Practicing expressing your needs. Remember that no is a complete sentence. OMG, I just love it. Okay? So again, boundaries with yourself, boundaries with others. Learn how to set limits. And for some, stop setting limits on yourself when it comes to things that you need to do. Okay? You can do it. You can do whatever you put your mind to. I love the United States. But if Donald Trump is the president, you can be whatever you want to be. I hope I don't lose no viewers, but whatever. All right. So, anywho, the next message here. Surrender to fear. It's time for you to face things with confidence. Don't run from them. Have the courage to look them directly in the face. And I challenge this struggle. I challenge this obstacle. I challenge this person that said, I can't and I'm not able to. I'm standing it right in the face and I'm having all the courage and I'm taking everything with it and all the inner strength that I have within me to do what it is that I need to do. Okay, Spirit is wanting you to let go of this fear. For some, that's selected 3. Okay, let go of the fear. You have the inner strength. Use the courage that you have to persevere. Okay, use the courage that you have to let go of these unhealthy relationships. Okay, build the confidence within yourself so you can let go of these unhealthy relationships. Okay, build this confidence within yourself so you can stand tall and be like, no, and walk away. The end. Okay. All right. For some, dreams. Okay. A lot of people that selected 3 have goals, things that they want to do, passions, desires. They've been wanting to manifest something, starting their own business, creating something of their own, going back to nursing school, being a lawyer, whatever it may be. But they're a sense of place of not being able to move forward. Again, I feel like a lot of doubt, needing to kind of face their fears, building up their confidence. Spirit is saying, again, face your fears. If you have dreams, if you have goals, things that you want to desire, visualize what it is that you want and put forth action, okay? Again, you never know if you will make it if you don't try, okay? And just because if you tried something in the past and it didn't quite work out, maybe the timing wasn't right. Try again. If it's something that you love doing, don't stop. Face whatever it is that you need to face and have courage and make your dreams a reality. Manifest them. You have that power. You are the magician of your life. You can co-create the lifestyle that you want. Okay. And then we have temptations. Okay. So for some that selected 3, you need to kind of let go of temptations. A lot of things tempt you. Okay. You may have wandering eyes when it comes to aspects of relationship. Okay. You may be I definitely feel like this is like seduction, type of temptation. But this could be temptation in a lot of different areas, meaning that you allow other things to draw your attention, and maybe you know that these certain things that draw your attention is not what's best for you, okay? So surrender to that temptation. You know exactly what it is you should be doing, and what you're not supposed to be doing, okay? So trust what it is that you feel. And don't allow temptation or peer pressure, okay, to kind of get you in a place of moving forth in action, okay? This is like, this temptation kind of reminds me of the devil card in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck in a way, okay? So don't feel trapped. Don't feel like you got to be tempted to do something. You don't. You always know what's right from wrong, okay? So surrender to temptation because it may not work in your favor. All right, so those are the energies for those that selected 3. I hope you click the like button. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in, subscribing. Thanks for all the support. Love and light. Until next time.